Now, I understand that mix-ups happen, especially during the workplace, but this mix-up that my boss did, honestly, I think was on purpose. I don't know why, but let's just say things got really awkward to the point where I had to get fired. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another crazy, but also super embarrassing story. So today's story all takes place back when I was actually just graduating high school. That's right, I was 18, turning 19, and honestly, life was really all over the place for me. I didn't know if I wanted to be a YouTuber. I didn't know if I wanted to be a content creator. I didn't know if I even wanted to be a streamer. But one thing was for sure was that those things weren't paying the bills at the time, so I ended up doing something else, which was a basic job that most people have nowadays. Now, I'm not hating on people that have a regular job. If anything, having a job shows you responsibility and also shows that you're independent. But let's just say I ended up getting this one job that was way more weirder than I thought it was. You see, back when I was 19, I was still living at my parents' place, and I wanted to figure out a cool way to make money quick. So instead of making videos, I thought, hey, why don't I, go and get a job in sales? Because at the time, I ended up watching this movie called Wolf of Wall Street, where it was about a guy who basically made sales and I guess was a big thing in the stock market. I don't know. If you guys never seen the movie, watch it. It's actually really inspiring. Other than the really weird stuff with Margaret Robbie, but she's hot, so it's totally okay. But I remember I ended up basically watching that movie and I got inspired to get into sales. So I ended up calling up one of my friends that was in sales and I told him, yo, bro, I was just wondering, like, does your job have like a job opening at all for me to like, get into? Yeah, man. Why? You trying to be in sales? Yeah, like I seen like you bought a new car recently and stuff, and I'm just trying to get more money in my pocket. Okay. Yeah, here, I can set up a meeting with my manager if you want. Yeah, sure, that'd be awesome. And from there, I remember literally the next week after, I got ready for my first job interview being in sales. I remember I got my suit and tie on and I ended up going to this job place. And when I did, I remember I ended up walking in there and I said, hi, I'm here for the job interview. Oh, you must be Bubba. Yeah, I'm looking for the boss. Oh, the boss is me. You're the manager? At this moment, I was shocked. And the reason I was shocked is not because women can't be bosses, but at the same time, this woman looked basically like my age, except she was a bit older and she was super attractive. Like her cherries were bigger than Saturn. If you guys don't know what that means, then you know what? Don't worry about it. But I remember I saw this and I'm like, whoa, like she looks great. She's hot. You know what? I think this job interview is going to be super easy because I had a plan to basically flirt with her to make her hire me. It's kind of a weird way of doing things, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, if they like you and you like them, automatically you get benefit. Am I right or am I right? So I remember we started doing this job interview. She asked me questions, I answer, the basic stuff. But then she ends up making a comment saying, oh, so I have a question. Do you like naturally know how to wear a suit and tie, or are you just doing that for today? Oh no, I wear suits all the time. My dad's into old fashioned, so am I. He kind of raised us as an old fashioned family. Oh, that's really awesome. Oh my goodness, that's really attractive actually. I mean, not as attractive as you, but yeah, I could see it happening. I remember when I made that comment, her eyes went wide open and she was actually like blushing. At that moment, I knew I was definitely in. And right away, as I was about to leave my job interview, she ends up standing up as well saying, oh, Bubba, before you leave, I just want to let you know you're definitely hired. Sweet. When do I start? Well, that's the thing. I need you to book a ticket. A ticket? For what? Oh, well, we're going to Vegas and I basically have like a business meeting down there, but I need an assistant. It will pay good if you want to go. Yeah, I can go. At this moment, I was in major shock because not only did I get the job, but I had a trip to Vegas to go to. So I remember I got home that day and I ended up getting transferred a bunch of money to basically go and book my flight. So I ended up sitting on my laptop, booking my flight in my kitchen. And I remember my dad comes up to me. My dad comes up to me saying, Bubba, what are you doing? Why are you looking at flights to Vegas? Oh, well, I got a job and I have to go to Vegas. Bubba, why do you have to go work in Vegas? What are you gonna do? Oh, I got hired for sales and my manager needs an assistant to go with. Okay, is this actually a job or is this like something you guys made up? No, it's a real job, Dad. Okay, because I don't want to hear you calling me saying that you're stuck in Vegas. You understand? Oh, no, I understand. Don't worry, Dad. This is a totally real job. Which, to be fair, my dad was worried about me. And I don't blame him for being worried because, well, when your son that's like literally 19 is about to travel to a different country. By the way, I'm in Canada if you guys did not know that. Some of you guys don't know, but I'm a Canadian. So knowing that I was going to go to a different country, especially in the country that is one of the most dangerous countries in the world, other than, those countries are, actually more dangerous. I gotta say, it was actually pretty concerning for my father. But I told him everything was gonna be fine and to trust me. And when I showed him that I got transferred money into my account for the trip, he felt more reassurance. I remember from there, I booked my flight and I ended up calling up my buddy. And I told him, yo, bro, I booked my flight to Vegas. I'm going. Wait, what? You got the Vegas trip? Yeah, she wanted me to go with her. Bubba, are you sure you should be going to Vegas for your first, like, job? Well, I mean, it's just Vegas. I don't see how crazy it could be. Have you ever been to Vegas? No. Okay, well, Bubba, one thing you should remember. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And at that moment, he hangs up angrily. I have no idea why, and I'm actually was really confused on why he was so upset. But honestly, I started to understand more and more as days went on. Because as days went on, I remember my manager would always call me randomly at random moments, telling me to, make sure she remembers certain things. It even got to a point where I had to get notes on my phone just to make sure that I didn't forget anything, because she was telling me so much about her life and stuff she had to do. Like, for example, she was going through a divorce. She had a kid to take care of. She had so much money that she had to launder, or not launder, but I guess put in other businesses and invest in. I don't know. It was a whole lot of stuff that honestly was super puzzling and all over the place. But then finally came the day of our Vegas trip. I remember we ended up meeting up at the airport and my father dropped me off. And when I got inside the airport, I remember seeing my boss there, and she was there wearing the most tightest, hottest outfit ever, while I'm wearing basically sweatpants and a sweatshirt with a hoodie on, kind of just chilling, because usually when I go and take a trip to an airport, I usually wear sweats or like a onesie of some sorts. Not an actual onesie, but you know what I mean, something comfortable on the plane. But she was wearing a full-on tight suit, and I remember she ended up like meeting up with me and said, "Oh, Bubba, here, let me see the tickets you bought." And she saw that I bought economy. At this moment, she was upset at me. I have no idea why, but she was so upset at me. She said, "Bubba, follow me. I'm not allowing this." Wait, what do you mean? I booked the flight for the same plane. Yeah, but I'm in business class. You're in economy, Bubba. Well, yeah, but that's okay. Bubba, no, we're gonna go upgrade your ticket right now. Follow me. At this moment, I got worried because I knew I could not afford getting a business flight. Honestly, she ends up going to the front desk and upgrading my ticket for me. And she paid over $2,000 just for me to upgrade my ticket. I was mind blown. I will say this, it was the first time ever when I entered inside a plane with her, and me and her were sitting in first class right beside each other. It got to the point where she even offered me a drink. I didn't know if I was actually allowed to drink at that time, because drinking age in Canada is 18 and 19. In America, it's 21. So knowing I was on the plane, literally hovering between the two, did that mean I was allowed to drink or not? I don't know. Comment down below what you guys think. But I started to worry, and I remember finally when we landed, I was pretty out of it. But as for my manager, she was as well. But me and her, we ended up getting an Uber, and we ended up heading over to the hotel that we were staying at. And this is where everything gets super awkward. I remember when we got to the hotel, she ends up going to the front desk and making sure that our rooms are ready. Remember, I said rooms, but I forgot to book the hotel. So she ended up booking it right then and there at that moment. And when we got inside the hotel room, I remember I thought there was going to be like 2 separate rooms, 2 separate beds. No, actually it was a total opposite. It was 1 room with 1 bed and a shared bathroom that was literally connected to the bedroom. Like, no joke. Like, if you're sitting on the bed, you could easily see who's sitting on the toilet. It was super weird, and I didn't know why Vegas had this, but apparently it was a romantic suite that we ended up getting. And at that moment, I was looking around and I was like, where am I sleeping? Oh, Baba, don't worry about it. You can sleep on the bed. Oh, okay. Where are you gonna sleep? On the bed, silly. We're sharing a bed? Why, do you have a problem with that? No, I don't. I just didn't expect us to share a bed. Well, it's okay. I mean, like, you're 19 and you're attractive and everything's gonna be okay. At this moment, she got closer and closer to me, to the point where it was pretty clear she had other intentions with me. And let's just say that day, she wasn't only my boss. She was also my booty call, which sounds really bad and I should not say. YouTube, don't demonetize this. I swear I'm just, saying things at this point. And I meant this in the most positive, most PG way. But yeah, no, it was really awkward because, well, one thing led to another. We ended up turning on the TV, sitting beside each other. And then we ended up doing the devil's tango, because she apparently needed to be not wearing anything to be comfortable to sleep. Yeah, that was really awkward. Anyways, though, that ends up happening. And the next morning when we wake up, I remember I ended up getting a phone call. And I woke up to the phone and I answered it and I said, "Hey, like, what's going on?" "Bubba, it's me, yo. What's happened? Are you waking up right now?" "Yeah, dude, it's early. What is it?" "Oh, well, can you tell the manager that I need her to answer her phone?" "Huh? Yeah, she's right beside me. Just give me 1 sec." "Wait, what? She's right beside you?" At that moment, I remembered I said too much, and he started to realize that me and my manager were sleeping in the same bed. At that moment, I remember my manager gets up and she just hangs up the phone instantly. And the thing she said to me was the same thing my friend told me a while ago. "Bubba, one thing you need to remember. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas." And at that moment, I remember from that day on, I never said a word about what happened at Vegas. I couldn't. There was no way I was going to tell anybody I did it with my manager. Well, to be fair, I decided not to say anything till, I guess, my channel. This is my YouTube channel. Welcome. Crazy stories all the time. But anyways, if you guys think I'm lying and think I'm crazy, then just follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.